All right, so now we're going to move on a little bit up the line. And this is kind of what we would say is the eastern shoreline. So, as Carolyn said, shoreline east, very much the Suffolk County. These towns are a lot smaller and, again, a very a different vibe from kind of lower Fairfield County. Larger lots. Uh, Much more focused on a town green. So, what you think of quintessential New England, Connecticut towns, and a very relaxed style of living. So since you're a little bit further from the city, yes, you can still access it, but it's definitely kind of a slow down vibe as opposed to kind of that quick access to Manhattan. You're also going to be very conveniently located to New Haven, Hartford, Providence, Boston. So that's going to take you a little bit further up north. But again, still that waterfront lifestyle of marinas and yachting and beaching and clamming and all those really, really fun things. So we're going to start. Oh, I said all of those things already. All right, we're going to
You
start with
did. You're so
Milford.
good. You didn't even need that slide.
Sorry. So Milford, which is kind of cool, has 17 miles of shoreline, which is the most of any Connecticut town and has 14 public beaches. So if you're really looking for that true, like, kind of New England beach style, I would say Milford is your go-to. The Milford Oyster Festival, one of the largest in New England, epic time, delicious food, craft tents, all kinds of, as Carolyn says, the craft breweries, the wineries. It's just a really kind of community feel. You can get anything from a cottage to a colonial, newer condos, townhomes. There's, a definite ability to kind of have that community downsizing active programs. And again, you're very conveniently located to Yale New Haven and Bridgeport hospitals. So that's a wonderful thing. So kind of what you get in Milford, entry level, and again, you're going to start to see the prices shift a little bit. So entry level in Greenwich was about 1.2, and then entry level up in Milford, you're looking at about 650. So definitely a different change, significantly bigger house is kind of what you're getting your entry level. But then kind of when you're looking at luxury in these towns, you're at 1.3, 1.4 million. You're getting bigger square footage, waterfront, things like that, which is really great. And then, again, you can kind of determine your lifestyle. Do you want to be closer to town? Do you want to be on the water? Like, what is the community that you are looking for there? And as we move up from Milford, we're going to go to Guilford, and there's going to be a quiz at the end. So you guys are going to have to repeat all of these names: Milford, Guilford. So what's great is here you're going to have, again, that beach access. It's a lot more of that antique feel. But you're also going to start to see, again, those strong school systems come into play and the active cultural scene. And, you're 20 minutes to New Haven, which is a great hub here in Connecticut, 40 minutes to Hartford, and less than 2 hours to Boston. So you have that. Again, kind of that mid feel of either people, starting out or downsizing or that. And it has also, I think, one of the largest town greens in the state of Connecticut. So again, you're going to get a little bit more of that true classic New England vibe with that waterfront front access. And then in Guilford, we have beautiful, as we were talking about, condos. There's a wonderful development. It may not look like it from this aerial, but it's also very close to the water. So you're getting that, again, coastal feel. And then you can go all the way up if you really, want bang for your buck. This beautiful $5 million property. You're on the water, you have a pool, you're on 3 acres. So you kind of have this like compound retreat that, you can spend the sunsets at.
I want that one.
There you go, Carol. I know a great agent that could sell it to
Great.
you. All right, Essex. So, Essex is a very unique town. One of my favorite things is the Essex Steam Train. They do a wonderful Christmas production every year. So everybody rushes in September to buy their tickets for the Essex Steam Train. You take your kids, you wear PJs, you get to do cookies and chocolate with Santa. So it's a really fun fun time. But what's also nice is it also has the Connecticut River coming through it. So kind of like we talked about, Westport has the Long Island Sound and the river. Essex has the same style where you're a little bit further north, but you still have that riverfront living and the Long Island Sound living. Really famous Griswold Inn, which has opened since 1776. So it's one of the oldest operating hotels. You're looking at a lot of second home buyers and retirees. They have volunteer opportunities, historical groups, art groups. So it's a really vibrant community for that second home market and people who are kind of looking to downsize. We've had plenty of our clients come from Fairfield County who want a little bit slower, who have moved up the line. They still want the waterfront, but just don't need the access to the city. So it's a great option for that.
I think that Griswold Inn is haunted. I stayed there recently and they tell you a
Really,
lot about
I
that
was
when you're
very
checking
interested,
in.
and apparently, well, it's very depressing, but in the War of 1812, one of the worst naval losses was in the Essex Harbor, and I found that out. So that was
Yeah, there's a lot of history in
a
that
lot of history
town.
there. And then again, talking about kind of the historic properties, you're looking at 18 Benson Lane, which is more of that traditional, historic, colonial property. It was built in 1832. You're going to see a lot of that in the Essex market. Just because it's built in 1832 doesn't mean it's been not been updated on the inside and kind of made it for today's buyer. Or you're kind of looking a little bit more luxury and you're going into Hannah Lane, which is about 4.5 million. Again, on the Connecticut River. One point, the interesting part is they're very similar acreage, but you're looking at double the square footage and again a different lifestyle. So what I love about Essex is that it has a little bit of both for everybody. And then Mystic and Stonington. I'm sure most people on the call have heard of the Mystic Seaport, the Mystic Aquarium, Mystic Pizza, which is actually a real place. I have eaten there. Julia Roberts was not there when I was there, but it's a beautiful town. The has a lot of restaurants, breweries, vineyards. Again, like we were talking about at the beginning of our conversation, really that craft boutique feel, a lot of historic homes and coastal cottages, and a lot of second home, again, owners, very much a boating community, very much an artistic community, and a very walkable community. The Amtrak train goes to Boston in less than 2. And again, you can be in Manhattan in less than 3 hours. So it's a great kind of opportunity for people who are really wanting that kind of very beachy lifestyle, but want access to the major metropolitan areas.
Right on the Rhode Island border.
Exactly. And again, talking entry level, and you kind of notice these are a little bit all over the map. We're kind of back in the Milford entry level price point. If you're looking at, under 1 million, significantly under 1 million, but that in-town living. And then, as we get a little bit further into town, you still get that waterfront, but, you're on Main Street for this beautiful estate, a beautiful property, and you're still on 3 acres. So there is a little bit for everybody. You can decide how big or how much property you want, but still kind of having that lifestyle.
Thank you so much, Lindley. Love it. So many options. And you have some social for
Yes,
us
and I
to
have some
follow.
more celebrities for you guys. So the Connecticut Life, Mystic CT and Shoreline CT, really kind of give you that flavor. Again, a lot of these communities in the Shoreline East are very artistic, very small. You can reach them all within 10, 15 minutes of each other. So that's the nice part too, is if you decide, hey, the vibe for me to settle in price range is really Mystic, but I want to explore Essex. That's the great part about this part of Connecticut Shoreline, is it's all very, very accessible to one another.